the up front man is Johnny Calvert. Calvert coming to the left side now. A little bit of room, a lot of room now. He's close to midfield, right across. Get it down, territory at about the 48-yard line. So a fine kickoff return by one of the front men, Johnny Calvert at end, 6'1", 185. And this game is underway, and Wardell, good break down for Calvert Hall there. Outstanding field position after the opening kickoff. Right, there's nothing like getting that ball back at least midfield, and really, it could be a good punting duel because really don't have outstanding punters on either team, so this could really give Calvert Hall the upper hand. Out of enter in the ballgame, George Maniusco. And now here's the handoff to Paul White. White has some room. It gets down to 45, a fumble, but I believe, well, it's not whistled dead. The ball is recovered by who? The ball was not whistled dead. He was shaken up. He had got to the 45 and fumbled the ball. And now the ball was recovered by Calvert Hall back in their own territory at the 47-yard line. So they lost 4 yards in the play, and it brings up second down and about 14 yards to go. There's a lot of room to run there, and the block was inside, but the runner actually tried to go outside where the block was, where the man was being blocked. Johnny Perino made that last stop. Now the handoff to Bruce Hoffman. And Bruce into Don's territory, about the 48-yard line. And it brings up now a third down. Third down, and let's call it about 10 yards to go. Ball spotted just about where it was after the kickoff. Third down, about 10. Calvert Hall with the football. Moments into the football game. Maniusco calls it out, drops back, rolls right. Looks upfield now, he's in trouble. Scrambles away.
It's 6-6. Hall is back to receive that punt. Tony Blaha is the lone receiver out there for the Dons.
Wittelsberger has been a good defensive player for Calvert Hall. He's back to punt at the 10-yard line. As Vernell said, Blaha, the only man back is about 32. Wittelsberger got a pretty good punt the only other time he punted. Crosswind. Good rush. He line drives the kick. Blaha lets it bounce at the 30 and leaves it alone. He's not going to get mirrored, and it's fallen on by Calvert Hall at about the 29-yard line by against Barnaba. Barnaba downs it at about the 28, 29-yard line, and now with 21 seconds, Loyola has the football. Stay tuned for halftime. Wardell Bracey has talked with coaches, with both the coaches, and an interesting halftime discussion. I'm sure you'll want to stay tuned for that. Then we have planning of the frame and a lot of fine halftime activities, so stay tuned. Loyola with 21 seconds to play in the half. Delay. Well, just eat up the time. Blaha gets back to the line of scrimmage.
I think they were doing more than just eating up the time, Jim. Blaha had a hole there, but he slipped and fell. Had he not slipped, I think he could have picked up some good yardage there, and a good call by Delay. It was a draw. Well, I guess you're right, Odell, because Loyola has called a timeout with 16 seconds.
16 seconds remaining in the first half.
16 seconds, 6-6 football game. Really been very well played, Odell.
It certainly has, and of course, fumbles and mistakes is really the thing that put the score on for both teams.
That's right. Each player has made, one big mistake, and they will cost them both times. Delay back to pass. He's in trouble. He is down. Back at the 22-yard line. And Fran Wittelsberger again has made the defensive play, along with Jerry Pivot. And that's a very famous Baltimore sports name.
Yeah, Jerry Pivot. They say he's the last of the Pivots, and I think there have been about 4 or 5 of them that have played ball there for Calvert Hall.
6 seconds now, 3rd down and 17. The last time out was called by Calvert Hall. 3rd down and 17 from the 23. He is hit at the 21-yard line. And that's going to be the last play of the first half. That is the end of the first half.
Pass off will remind you a little bit of old Louis Michaels with that left foot.
Louis come back. He's done a pretty good job with Green Bay. First and 10 now from the 20. The handoff over the middle to Hooper, Henry Hooper, the fullback. He got a couple of yards to the 22-yard line. He was brought down by John Lesho. John Lesho, the tackle. Second down and 8 yards to go. For the Dons of Loyola, 6-6 with Calvert Hall. DeLay, the quarterback, was Hooper, Blaha, and Fanny Wigman with him. Wigman busting over the middle across the 25 to about the 26 or 7 yard line. Danny Wigman. He's brought down the play by Scott Lipton. 6'1", 165 pounds.
Well, now, at one point, Coach Joe Boone made the difference in his quarterbacks. Last year, quarterback was a better runner than passer. This year, DeLay is a much better thrower than runner, and of course, this is, the statistics bear that out.
Third down and 3 from the 27. They need the 30 and busting across the 30-yard line to about the 32 or 3 goes Tony Blaha. More than enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 33. A pickup of 7 on the play. He got more than enough for the first down. And it's first and 10 now for the Dons. The Dons in the first half, the first time they got the ball after the interception by Bear, drove 57 yards with good tough running inside. They get first down here to start the second half. Going the left lane. Looks to cut back in, but he is hit and hammered down. A good defensive play made there by Fran Witzelberger, and he's been in on almost every tackle.
He does a lot for that ball club out there. He does the punting and really he's a stand out there on defense.
Witzelberger made the stop again on the play gain of 1. As DeLay tried to roll left and made his cut, but Witzelberger was there to nail it. Second down and 9 from the 34-yard line. DeLay barking it out. Giving it to Wigman, and he is wrapped up. Wigman wrapped up close to the line of scrimmage by a lot of people, including Don Redmond and Jerry Pivot. No gain in the play. Let's call it third down and 9 from the 34-yard line. They need the 43 for a first down. And again, sending in a play, this time with Mike Blair at 87 coming in for Mike Coe. Third down, about 9 yards to go. DeLay, the quarterback. Back to pass. He's being rushed. He's in the pocket, fires. It is incomplete off the fingertips of Blaha at the 44-yard line. Pretty well played pass. Blaha just could not handle it.
Well, he just made his cut to the outside there and really wasn't quite expecting to be thrown because DeLay was under pressure and he got rid of that ball a little before he really wanted to and before Blaha actually expected it.
Dave Hudak will punt. He's back at his 20, and Leckis, number 42, and Cole, number 26, back at about their own 38 and double safety. Punt now coming toward the sideline, and it goes out of bounds at about the 45-yard line of Calvert Hall. Hudak didn't hit that very well off the side of his foot. A line drive punt that bounced out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. They're marking at the 33-yard line. That's for Calvert Hall. They put it in play for the first time in the second half.
That's always been able to, one of the things that amazes me with officials is how they can throw that flag from about 10 yards and it can land in the exact spot where the ball went out of bounds.
Paul Nelson, the quarterback. Kohler's back there. Juanisco, the quarterback. And Paul Wright. And a quick hit, it's Kohler, and he's across the midfield stripe to about the 48-yard line. And Ordell, he hits that hole very quickly, and he's also very tough to bring down.
Yes, he's a hard running back. This is the first time we've seen since the touchdown drive, we've seen that unbalanced line for Calvert Hall. It was unbalanced to the left that time, and they ran right to the strength of that unbalanced line.
First down run to the 47-yard line of Loyola. We're just starting. The third period, we had about 8:37 to play in the third. Tackle on the play by, that last tackle made by Joe Farino and Kurt Laser. Now here's Wright, looking for running room around the left side. He has it, good yardage, down inside the 40-yard line, close to the 35-yard line of Loyola. Jerry Ferrino again in the stop. 5'11", 165-pound sophomore. Ferrino made the stop, but not until another first down run was picked off. So now White has a run for the first down, and also Mr. Cooler on 2 successive runs. First down and 10 now from the 36-yard line. Cooler over the middle, and he busts to about the 32-3-yard line. And Calvert Hall now controlling the football and running it very, very well. He got 5 yards in the play. Second down, they'll call it about 7 yards to go. They'll mark it at the 33. Nelson across inside the 30. Let's see where they mark it. About the 29-yard line. He's going to be about 4 yards shy of the first down. So it'll be third down, a short 4 to go. All right, a big play for the Cardinals of Calvert Hall. 6-6 football game, 7:27 to play, third period. Give it to White. Trying to get around the corner on the left side. He does. He goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. It looks as if he's got that first down.
The unbalanced line is confusing to Loyola because with that unbalanced line, they're able to skirt the ends around there, which they haven't been able to do against Loyola in a normal balanced line.
A good play call, and it got him the first down at the 25-yard line.
They had that outside man hooked on that last play.
Cooler and Nelson behind Ozesco in the eye, and now they give the ball to Nelson. Nelson now is hit close to the 20-yard line.
There's not too many things fancy about Paul Nelson out there as a fullback, but he's certainly a bull. He can drive in there. He picked up about 3 yards there with people hanging on him.
George Klein, one of the guys that was hanging on to make the stop, give him 3 yards in the play, call it second down and 7. The ball at the 21-yard line of Loyola. Now the handoff to the second man, through, and that second a great fake. They faked me out. Ozesco faked the handoff to his fullback. Nelson kept it himself, but did not get anything. In fact, he looks like he lost about a yard.
There were people on the ground on that play, but actually it developed late, and the defensive people were able to recover and stop it.
Tony Bear made the good defensive play. And now it's going to bring up third down and 8 yards to go. The ball spotted at the 23, so he lost a couple on the play. Third down and 8 yards to go. Ozesco back to pass. Looking, he's hit, and he's going to be knocked down at about the 28-yard line. Drew Ryder, number 89, in on the tackle.
Ryder came from all the way from the other side. He just came and saw the roll out there, came all the way and made the big play on that.
So it's fourth down and 13 now. The ball at the 28-yard line of Loyola. Fourth down and 13. The I formation. Ozesco dropping back to pass. Fourth player pass to Cooler 30, 25, Cooler 20 inside the 20, about the 17, not enough for the first down. So Loyola has held. Odell, it's just dawned on me there have been very, very few penalties in this game.
It has. It's been a real clean ball game. There are no penalties, but I think the first one we saw is actually the only penalties we've seen today have been down there on the point after touchdown.
That's right. So Loyola has held. They take it over first and 10 now from their own 18-yard line.
Usually in a game like this, we're going to see a lot of penalties at the end of the game. Whatever team's behind or pressing or get that lead in that, people being a little upset, losing their poise.
Randy Woodman gets 4 yards out to the 22-yard line, second down and 6. Second and 6. Delay the quarterback. Counts it out on second down. Wigman, and he gets a couple of tough yards to about the 24, 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 24. So it brings up third down and 4 yards to go for 24. 4.5 minutes to play, third period. The Downs of Loyola struck first. Marched 57 yards in the first period after the interception by Bear and scored. And then after a fumble recovery by Calvert Hall, they marched 41 yards and scored. Both missed extra point attempts. 6-6 on third down. Delay firing, almost intercepted, incomplete. Almost intercepted by Van Wittelsberger. He is everywhere.
He is. He kind of reminds you a little bit of Ted Hendricks. He's right in there, the right spot, coming up with the big play.
So that brings out a punting situation. Fourth down, and Hudak will be back to punt. And the familiar duo of Kohler and Lucas will be back. They're going to be back at about 45. Punt coming from the 15. End of the run. It bounces toward the out of bounds and actually took Calvert Hall bounce and went out of bounds in Loyola territory. Let's see where they'll mark it close to the 45-yard line of Loyola. A safety announcement from the National Association of Retail Druggists and the Food and Drug Administration. Don't buy or take drugs from strangers or acquaintances, and don't prescribe for yourself. Talk to your physician or pharmacist before taking any drug. This is WCBM Radio in Baltimore. Calvert Hall on first down, and running hard is Nelson. He's down to the 30-yard line. Second is Kohler. Kohler busting over the middle again, Odell. That same play, Kurt Glazer made the stop. Kurt Glazer made the stop. Odell, is that a trap up the middle?
That's straight away blocking up there. They've got the unbalanced line, and they're just running straight up that middle.
30-yard line, first and 10 for the Cardinals. Kohler again. He breaks to the open at 20, 15, 10, 5, score. Kohler, 30 yards for the touchdown. And the Cardinals are happy bunch right now, jumping all over Kohler. And it's 12-6, and boy, really whipped that off.
That play was just, again, straight blocking with the lead back blocking in there, and he just cut off to his the short side of that unbalanced line, the right side. Once he got past that line of scrimmage, there was no one near him.
Kohler ran 45 yards in 2 plays after the punt, 15 and then 30 for the touchdown. So the 35-yard drive in 2 plays. And the Cardinals lead 12-0. The 12-6, and lining up now to run the football. Juaniska, the quarterback, from the 3. Drops back and looks. He's rushed, and he's knocked down. And again, the extra point does not come off. There's a timeout in the field, and the score is Calvert Hall 12, Loyola 6.
Every time a pharmacist dispenses a prescription, he accepts vital responsibilities for your health. He uses many double checks to assure its accuracy. First, he identifies the patient with the prescription. Then he checks the authenticity of the prescription, studies the medication and dosage prescribed. If there is anything questionable, he telephones the physician. In compounding the prescription, he checks labels of each ingredient, prepares the ingredients as prescribed. He then puts on a label with the required information and a prescription number. Thus, with painstaking care and strict adherence to a checking system, the pharmacist performs a most vital responsibility as a member of the health team, dispensing of prescriptions. Take your prescription to Howard and Morris Pharmacies, where specialization means finest service for you. 5 Howard and Morris Pharmacies.
12-6 football game, Calvert Hall over Loyola. That was a great defensive play on that extra point attempt there, Dale.
Right, Jim. John Pocius came in through there and was right on top of him when he didn't even have a chance to get that ball off.
Laskoff kicking off. Well, the up front man will pick it off to 20, 25, 30, and across the 30 to 31-yard line is Dave Hudak. Brought down in the play by Michael Hudak. And the Dons have it from the 31. They trail now, 12-6. They led in this football game. They drew first blood. That's 6-0. And since then, Calvert Hall has racked up 2 TDs, and they lead at this point 12-6. We have 3:33 to play. third period. Delay the quarterback. Play action fake and now firing, and it bounces incomplete.
John Lesko was right in on top of Delay on that. He had to get rid of that ball, and it was short. But there was mostly credit to Lesko being put on a tremendous rush.
Mike Cook was there, but of course the pressure put on Delay, and he underthrew the pass. Second down and 10 on the incomplete pass from the 31-yard line. Meadowcroft split to the left side. I formation. Hand off to Wickman, and he gets to the 35-yard line. Jerry Pinnock made the stop to 35, so that brings up third down. And about 5 yards to go, long 5. But he's just across the 40 for the first down. About a half a yard across.
Calvert Hall with a secondary that has shown considerable weaknesses throughout the season. Knows that the best thing they can do against that fine passing game Loyola has is get that pressure on the passer.
On third down and 5, Meadowcroft spits to the left side. Blaha slotted to the left, and the handoff comes inside to Wickman. And Wickman across the 45 to the 36-yard line. A fine play call. They had Blaha in the slot, Meadowcroft split to the left, and they ran Wickman right up the middle. And he gets the first down, more than enough, at the 46-yard line of Loyola. First down and 10 for the Downs. Patrolak, Logan. Second down. Let's call it about 9 yards to go. Give them one to play. They spot it at the 36-yard line.
For the fans that are kind of braving this rather chilly weather, they're saying a real fine high school football game here, Jim.
Second down 9. Delay slips and falls trying to pass back at the 42-yard line. Delay back to pass, slipped and fell. Loses about 5 on the play. Let's call it third down. And about 14 yards to go. Third and 14 from the 42. They need to get to the 44 of Calvert Hall. Meadowcroft split to the left side. Blaha again in the slot. I formation. Delay barks it out. And back to pass. A big rush out. He is hit as he fires incomplete. He was really hammered, Odell, back at the 39-yard line.
They had him coming. They had an all-out rush on the quarterback that time. And believe me, Calvert Hall knows that they're vulnerable back there, and they've got to get to that passer. They cannot let Delay have that time to throw because he can pick them apart. He does have the receivers to do it with.
John Lesher was the guy that broke right up the middle of Odell and nailed Delay just as he fired. So that's going to bring up a fourth down. And there's a timeout on the field with a score. Calvert Hall 12, Loyola 6.
At Howard and Morris Pharmacies, there are many services available for the asking, such as charge accounts, NAC, Master Charge, Bank AmeriCard, or directly with the store. 24-hour emergency prescription service, delivery service, prompted courteous. Surgical garments fitted by appointment, complete lines of non-allergenic cosmetics, automatic refill plan. And at Howard & Morris, there are many more services you don't have to ask for, such as a personal prescription expense record, a record of medication for each individual, all tablets and capsules packaged for ultimate protection, all liquid prescriptions dispensed to amber glass to protect the ingredients from light. Call on them at any time. Howard & Morris Pharmacies at 820 Delaney Valley Road in the Delaney Valley Shopping Center, 8102 Lockhaven Boulevard at Taylor Avenue, 6227 North Charles Street in the Chalet Charles, 706 North Rolling Road in the 40 West Shopping Center, and Howard & Morris's Chase Pharmacy in the Horizon House at Calvert and Chase Streets.
Back to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Loyola punted. Hudak and Kohler made a fair catch at the 35 of Calvert Hall. So the Cardinals have the ball and the lead, 12-6, and the ball at the 35-yard line. They're home 35. Manu's got the quarterback. And they go to Kohler breaking over on the left side, and he gets all the way up to the 44, 45-yard line. They just can't stop Kohler. The last 3 times he's carried the ball, Odell Gracie, he has made 54 yards.
That's a pretty good day, you know, it's out there. It's the type that, can sustain and keep that ground game going. That's what Calvert Hall wants right now. They want to control that ball, keep the ball, not really put it in the air, but control it on the ground and eat up that clock.
Kurt Glazer made the last stop on Kohler. First, second down and 1, and now they go to the fullback, breaking over the 45, close to the 48-yard line. That was Paul Nelson, enough for the first down at the 48. 20 seconds remaining in the third period. Calvert Hall will have the win at their back in the fourth period. So they're in no rush now. Put the ball in play. 5 seconds. 4. Hand off to Nelson. Big hole in the middle. Nelson. Down to the 33-yard line of the Dons. And that will be the end of the third period with the score. Calvert Hall 12 and Loyola 6.
Do you have a family pharmacist? You should. Otherwise, you may be receiving only the partial benefits of health care. Your pharmacist is an important member of the health team. Choose him as you would your physician. Things to look for in a pharmacist are, does he devote full time to compounding prescriptions, or is his attention diluted by distracting sidelines? Does he maintain complete stocks of new drugs so that your prescriptions may be compounded without delay? Does he take a personal interest in your health needs? Is his service prompt and courteous? Howard and Morris pharmacies offer you all of these services and more. Where you have your prescriptions filled does make a difference. Be sure you receive the finest professional service when you need drugs or medication. Rely on one of the Howard and Morris pharmacies.
Right through the football game, it's been a good one. Calvert Hall leads Loyola 12-6. Now the officials trying to make sure they spot the ball in the right spot. It'll be Calvert Hall's ball, 1st and 10, from the 33-yard line of the Dons. Manusko, the quarterback. All right, 1st and 10. White, flank to the right side. Handoff goes to Kohler. And he's hit, fumbles the ball. And Loyola has it at the 37-yard line. So Kohler fumbled the football. He was hit very hard by Jerry Ferrino, who's put an outstanding defensive game for the Dons. And he coughs it up. And Loyola has a break at the 37-yard line. Their own 37. They have the football. Delay the quarterback. Danny Wigman, and he gets very little yardage. Maybe a yard or two close to the 40-yard line. He was hit by Bruce Hoffman. No market at the 39. Give him about 2 on the play. Oh, it's 2nd down and 8. Rigger now. Flank to the right side. High formation, 2nd down. Delay, back to pass, fires, intended for Metcalf. It's intercepted by Whittlesberger. He's on his feet at the 20, 15, 10, 5. He scores. Whittlesberger, who's been a defensive standout the entire game, picks off this pass and rambles in for the touchdown. He intercepted it at about the 45-yard line. And went all the way for the score, and now Calvert Hall leads 18-6. Oh, now that was some defensive play.
It was excellent there, but again, you have to give that front line for Calvert Hall a lot of credit there because they forced delay into throwing that ball not really where he wanted to, and they had a lot of arms up there, and he didn't have the passing lanes that he wanted to throw in. And Williamsburg being in the right place, good coverage by him, and then an excellent run after he caught that ball.
All right, they're ready for the 2 points. White split to the right side. Lanusko drops back. He fires in the end zone. It's deflected, incomplete. Fine play by one of those guys up front. as he deflected the football. Looked like number 70. George Klein was also played very well in the middle of that line. So it's 18-6 now. Calvert Hall is on top after the brilliant interception by Whittlesberger. The Calvert Hall Loyola football game is brought to you by Howard and Morris Pharmacies. Howard and Morris can fill your family needs for convalescent age and other medical equipment. Call or stop in at any of the 5 Howard and Morris Pharmacies. Odell, Calvert Hall fell behind 6-0 in the first quarter, but it's been no football game since.
You know, we had a real quick change of events here. Kohler fumbled the ball on a drive that Calvert Hall had going, and then Loyola turned around, put the ball in the air, and Wilsberger intercepted, and we had a defensive touchdown for the Calvert Hall Cardinals on there. So it really shows you how quick it can change, and although they're leading Loyola by 12 points, it's still anybody's ball game.
Middlecroft was the intended receiver on that play, and he's a fine receiver, and he has been held out pretty well. He doesn't have a reception yet. Ball flat on the ground now. And pretty good kick off that line. Ball bouncing around, and somebody finally falls on it. That's a free ball, and Loyola did fall on it. It was about the 29-yard line. Rich McKenna fell on it.
I'll never forget one time when Steve Myra put one on the ground, was going to kick it like that, and he kicked it into a big wind, and the wind blew it back over his head.
First and 10 now. From the 29-yard line, the Dons have the ball. They trail 18-6. Delay to Blaha. He breaks over a big hole over the left side. He gets across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Scott Richter made the stop on Blaha. We've seen a lot of fine running backs here this morning, Odell.
We certainly have. We've really been treated some good running out there. Blaha for the Loyola team, and with Kohler for the Calvert Hall Cardinals.
6 on the play, second down 4 from the 36-yard line. Tulane, quick handoff inside, and that's Blaha across the 45 to about the 47 or 8-yard line.
Calvert Hall is out of that stacked linebacker defense, and Loyola seems to be taking advantage of it. They're running right up the middle there.
Loyola trails by 12, but there's still a lot of time left in this football game. 10 minutes and 28 seconds. And should Loyola put one together here, Odell, we have a brand new game. Delay at quarterback. Back to pass. And it is incomplete at the 45-yard line of Calvert Hall. Intended for Mike Cook. And incomplete. So that stops the clock, brings up second down and 10.
For the first time this afternoon that I've noticed that we see Middlecroft over on the right side offensively for Loyola.
Middlecroft now lines up the left side. Second down and 10 from the 46. Delay rolling left. He wants to run. He's at the 50. He's at the 45. He's inside the 45 at about the 44-yard line of Calvert Hall. He's a couple of yards shy of the first down. It'll be a third down and a long run. Let's call it 2 yards. Delay gain 8 on the play. It's not a long run at all. It's going to be close enough, I believe, for a measurement. They're going to measure. Loyola broke their huddle is coming up to run a play.
I guess the officials felt they had to have at least one measurement during the game. You know, this is pretty much what a situation, a lot like what Coach Joe Broom has been talking about this previous week, is that they do move the ball. They do make a lot of big plays for the Loyola team does, but they always seem to make mistakes that nullify a lot of the good plays that they make. Now, they've got a good drive going here. Let's see if they can continue this, so they can keep the momentum going and bring in a score.
Ordell, they did have a long yard to go. Actually, stretch out the measure, so maybe you're right about the measurement. Third down and a long yard to go. The ball at the 44-yard line of Calvert Hall. This is a very big play in the game. Loyola trying to get back in the game. They trail 18-6. Beautifully played football game here. Penalty-free. But a good clean game, at least to this point. Third down, long one. And there's Blaha. He's got the first down close to the 40-yard line. They stop him at about the 41, but that's more than enough for the first down. So Blaha gets that first down. John Lesho made the stop for Calvert Hall, but not until Blaha had the first down. Cook comes out of the football game. Mike Blow, number 87, goes in for him with a play. First down, 10. For the Downs of Loyola, they come out at the 41-yard line. Dulé brings them out. I formation. Going to the left side, this is Dulé. He's got running room, and he gets inside the 35-yard line. Dulé runs that play again, and very well for big yardage. He gets about 7-8 yards in the play. And there's nothing really tricky about that. It's not an option play at all. He's not taking the pitch. He's just taking the ball, running behind, blocking around the left side. He runs very well, and he's making his cut at the right time.
That's right. He's just rolling out there, and there's no intention at all, and no deception as far as whether he's going to pass or not. He just takes that ball, tucks it under his arm, and goes. Watching the Calvert Hall defenders, they're coming across that line about 5 yards and then pursuing. They're making sure that Dulé is not going to reverse on him.
He got 8 again in the play. The last time he got 8 as well. Second down and 2, and the handoff now. And no hole this time. No hole this time.
John Lesho was in there for that one. He's the one that made the initial stop.
He's not back to, they give him forward progress to the 34-yard line, so he lost a yard of the play. And it brings up third down and 3. Good defensive play as Hooper, who doesn't carry the ball much, took it that time and could not negotiate it, was not back for a yard loss. So now another big third down play for the Downs. Third down and 3. Blaha got him the first down the last time they had a situation, third down and short yardage. Let's see what happens now. Quarterback sneak, and let's see where he gets. He gets close to the 30-yard line. He needs a 31. It's going to be close. Let's see where they mark the football.
I don't believe he has it yet, Tim.
Dulé sneaking. And they're going to have another measurement here. Very important measurement. It'll be very, very close. We have 7 minutes and 29 seconds to play the game. We got good eyes, Ordell. He's a couple of feet short.
You think I could be an official? There's no doubt Loyola's going to go for it.
All right, here it is. Fourth down, a couple of feet to go. And let's see what Dulé has on his mind. I'm sure first down. They've got a little more than a foot to go. All right, Dulé has him out. Here's a big play in the game. Quarterback sneak. He's got the first down inside the 30. Dulé sneaks for the first down to the 29-yard line, and the Downs have their drive alive. First and 10 for Loyola at the Calvert Hall 29. The clock ticks away, running at 7:34. 18 to stake. Calvert Hall on top. And the Downs cheering section in the background, you hear them employing their charges to go. And now the pass to Lee. Incomplete. He had a man there. And that was Mike Blair, number 87, at the 5-yard line, and then through his fingertips. Incomplete.
Art Middlesoft is limping out there. I don't know how effective he can be. I think the Dons are primarily using him as a decoy, and of course keeping him in there for some blocking purposes, but he doesn't look like he can run much more than 3/4 speed out there.
Second down, and 10 yards to go from the 29-yard line at Calvert Hall. The Dons with I formation. Going to the left side and being hit and knocked down at the 32-yard line by Johnny Corbett is Dulé. Johnny Corbett, an excellent defensive play as he submarine got in there and tripped up Dulé as he tried to sweep around the left side. A play that had been so very successful for him previously. But this time he was defense, the ball back at the 32-yard line. A loss of 3 in the play that brings up third down and 13.
Jim, I think Calvert had to be about as surprised as anyone they made that tackle because he got knocked flat by 2 blockers out there from Loyola, and Dulé just tripped over it.
Third down and 13. from the 32-yard line. They need the 20. Delay back. Good protection, fires, incomplete. Mike Blair. I'll tell you, defensive back gamble that time, Ordell, and if Blair been able to hang on, it would have been 6 points.
I think the big thing for Calvert Hall, though, in holding down the Loyola passing game this afternoon is the pressure that they put on that passer. Again, they had Don Redmond in there that was breathing down DeLay's neck when he threw that ball.
Butch McKenna, number 7, comes into the football game at halfback. He's going to be split to the right side. It's 4th down and 13. Loyola's got to do something right here, right now. DeLay, pressure, drop. Swarmed over at the 38-yard line. And Calvert Hall was just not to be denied, Ordell. He just came in, never gave him a chance to get rid of the football, and they take over at the 38-yard line.
They're not to be denied. You're very right. I'll never forget George Freeze, an old cold tackle. He said that when that 4th and 3rd and long situation, and he said that really had to make you kind of pucker and tighten up because that guy across the line knew you're going to throw that ball, and he just had his ears pinned back and was ready to come in there and rush that passer.
All right, the Cardinals have it at their own 38-yard line, leading 18-6 in a great position now. Hand off and get into the 40-yard line is Paul Nelson, the fullback. Give him 2 in the play, 2nd down and 8 from there. Tom Balatile made the stop for the Dons of Loyola at the 42nd and 8. Time remaining 6:09. The clock is running. 18-6. Calvert Hall on top. Kohler is back there along with Nelson and Paul White. Quarterback, Maniusko's going all the way. The handoff inside and building to the 45-yard line again is Paul Nelson. So he gets 5 more yards. It brings up 3rd and about 3. 3rd and 3.
Nelson only being a sophomore, you're certainly going to hear a lot more about him in his high school career.
Tackled by Clyde.
DiMaggio, middle linebacker, came out of the football game, and he was replaced by Cook. Mike Cook. Now sweeping his Kohler around the right side. He has room. And Kohler bumped out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
There goes one of our penalties. It's that time of the ball game.
Late hit in there, and the penalty flag is dropped as Kohler found running room around the right side. Well, last year, it was Joe Campanella exciting the fans out here, and the Calvert Hall Spurs with great running, 3 touchdowns. And Thanksgiving Day 1971, it's been Kohler's turn.
Campanella was strictly outstanding that day. He scored 3 touchdowns. I think he ran for 2 and caught 1 pass. One thing I went away from that ball game after watching, I said, he reminds me so much of Alan Amici, the way he runs. He's got that high knee action running straight up.
Personal foul penalty against Loyola. The first major penalty in this game. And it moves the ball to the 31-yard line of the Dons. Calvert Hall has it 1st and 10 from there. 5:14 to play. Maniusko, the quarterback. Picking it up the middle and getting to about the 26-yard line is Kohler. Klein made the stop. He's made a lot of tackles here this morning.
Calvert Hall is only going to be interested in controlling that ball. They're not going to take any gambles. It's going to be something very basic what they've had before, straight ahead. And I notice they're employing Paul Nelson a lot in their running. They feel that this kid has some good hands. He's not going to fumble that ball.
2nd down and 7 at 27. And now flags are dropped before the ball is snapped. This might be a delay game penalty against Calvert Hall. The officials talking it over. No legal motion, legal procedure, and it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Cardinals. It'll move it back to the 32-yard line and makes it 2nd and 12.
I think the Cardinals are lucky that they had that penalty called because I believe Paul Nelson, after saying that he didn't fumbled the ball.
All right, 2nd down and 12. The clock reads 4:38 to play in this game. The Cardinals have the football and the lead, 18-6. There's that unbalanced line. Right, slide to the right side. Go to Kohler, and they smelled it this time. No gain.
There's almost a near catastrophe there. Kohler juggled that ball when he was hit.